friends, welcome to Law and GK. So friends, on this channel we discuss the contents of law and previous year papers of judicial services and other legal exams. So friends, in today's video we are going to discuss the preliminary exam paper of ODISHA Judicial Services 2017. So friends, if you are new on this channel, I would like to recommend कि आप जो है इस channel को जल्दी से subscribe कर लीजिए because it will be very beneficial for you in your preparation for judiciary and other legal exams. And while subscribing, don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get the notification for our upcoming videos. And if you like this video, just click the like button over there and appreciate this with your friends so that they can come to know about this channel as well. And अगर आपको हमारे efforts अच्छे लगे हों तो in addition to like and subscribe, kindly give us a super thanks. Super thanks is a way to help the content creator. Means if you like the videos, you can just donate some money to them in form of tips. Minimum starts with 20. Minimum is 20 rupees. So you can see the question paper comes like this. This is a series A. You have to write your exam roll number, ballpoint pen, blue or black, and 25% negative marking is there. So question number 1 is Indian Constitution is unitary, federal, quasi-federal. It is quasi-federal. C is the answer. And who said this? This was said by Dr. K.C. Vere. Next is 2. The words socialist and secular were added in the preamble of Constitution by 42nd Amendment Act. Only one amendment is there in the preamble, that was 42nd. A is the answer. Next is 3. Equality of opportunity in the matters of public employment is provided in Article 16. C is the answer. Next is 4. President can make laws when the Parliament is not in session by ordinance. C is the answer, and the power is mentioned in Article 123. Next is 5. In which of the following case Supreme Court held that Union government cannot dismiss a duly elected state government on the sole ground that the ruling party in state suffered an overwhelming defeat in the election of Lok Sabha? This was SR Bombay vs Union of India. A is the answer. Next is 6. The power of Supreme Court of India to decide disputes between center and state falls under original jurisdiction. C is the answer. It is provided in Article 131. Appellate jurisdiction is in 132, 133, 134. Next is 7. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court used its power of judicial review? In all of the cases. D is the answer. Next is 8. The Supreme Court considered the scope of freedom of speech and expression under Article 19(1)(a) for the first time in Crossroads case. A is the answer. This is 9. In which of the following cases Supreme Court held that right to legal aid is a fundamental right? That was M.H. Huscoat case. B is the answer. Next is 10. Reservation of seats for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe in every panchayat is provided in Article 243D. A is the answer. This is 11. In which of the following provision mean profit has been defined in CPC? That is 212. C is the answer. 2.4 is district. 2.8 is judge. 2.14 is order. Next 12. Pecuniary jurisdiction of the court is contained in section 6. A is the answer. Next 13. Principle res judicata applies to suits, execution, arbitration, suits as well as execution. D is the answer. Next 14. Which of the following section of CPC deals with stay of suits? That is section 10, res sub judice. B is the answer. Next 15. A suit for partition of immovable property shall be instituted in the court within the local limits of whose jurisdiction property is situated. Section 16 provides the same. Next 16. Which of the following provision of CPC deals with redaction of plaint? That is Order 7, Rule 11. Rule 10 में क्या है? Return of plaint है. Next 17. Which of the following order deals with issues and services of summons? Order 5. A is the answer. कितना कॉमन क्वेश्चन है, बहुत ही इजी क्वेश्चन है. 6 में क्या है? प्लीडिंग. 7 में क्या है? प्लेंट. 4 में क्या है? इंस्टीट्यूशन ऑफ सूट. नेक्स्ट 18. Defendant failed to file a written statement even after stipulated time. The court pronounced judgment. It is legal. A is the answer. Next is 19. An application to set aside an ex parte decree shall be filed before the court which passed the decree. B is the answer. Next 20. In a suit by A against B, C and D, ex parte decree was passed. C and D were not served with summons while B was served. In such situation, decree against all of them can be set aside. No, B को तो summons मिल गए थे ना, तो decree against B cannot be set aside. B is the answer. C and D can file the application for setting aside the decree, ex parte decree. Next 21. An accused arrested can be kept with custody without producing him before the magistrate after his arrest for a period of 24 hours. B is the answer. Section 57 provides the same. Next 22. Section 41 A, B, C, D were included in the code by amendment of 2008. C is the answer. Next 23. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that no arrest can be made without because it is lawful for the police officer to do so? The existence of the power to the arrest is one thing and justification of size of it is quite another. The police officer must be able to justify the arrest apart from his power to do so. This was case of Joginder Kumar versus State of UP. B is the answer. Next 24. When a police officer files a report under section 195 1A CRPC, it is known as complaint. A is the answer. Next 25. Offense for which a police officer has no authority to arrest without warrant is called as non-cognizable offense. B is the answer. Section 2L provide the same. Next 26. The accused filed an application before the magistrate to allow him to appear through his power of attorney holder. The magistrate allow the petition. The order is illegal. How he can accuse को present होना पड़ेगा ना, वो किसी को दूसरे को थोड़ी भेज देगा power of attorney देके. Next 27. Executive magistrate are appointed under section 20. A is the answer. Next 28. Which of the following section of CRPC deals with conditional order of removal of nuisance? That is 133. A is the answer. Next 29. Chapter 11 of CRPC deals with preventive action of police. C is the answer. Next 30. A new proviso was added to section 157(1) by the amendment of 2008 in relation to an offense of rape. B is the answer. Next 131. Which of the following section of Indian Evidence Act deals with the relevancy of admission and confession? That is 17 to 31. B is the answer. Next 32. Motive is insignificant when direct evidence is available. A is the answer. Next 33. An admission may be dash in nature or documentary, both, or in electronic form. D is the answer. Next 34. In order to make the confession admissible, the person must be an accused at the time of making of the confession. Obviously, B is the answer. Next 35. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that retracted confession can be used against the accused if it is not against Article 23 of the Constitution? That was Kalavati versus State of HP. C is the answer. Next is 36. A and B are jointly tried for the murder of C. It is proved that A said B and I murdered C. The court may consider the effect of this confession against both A and B. C is the answer. Next 37. Section 114A was introduced by Criminal Law Amendment Act following the widespread protest against the judgment in Mathura rape case. A is the answer. State of Maharashtra versus Tukaram. This was the name of the case. Next is 38. The examination of witness by a party who calls him shall be called as examination in chief. C is the answer. Next 39. Previous judgments are relevant to support the plea of res judicata. A is the answer. Next 40. The content of document can be proved by primary or secondary evidence. C is the answer. 63, 64, and this is mentioned in section 61. Next is 41. A who knows swimming failed to save the life of a drowning child and a child dies as a result of A's omission. A is liable for not saving the drowning child? No. A is not liable for not saving. B is the answer. उसकी मर्जी बचाए ना बचाए. Next 42. A person who consents suffers no injury is known as voluntary non-fit injuria. C is the answer. Next 43. Which is the following section of IPC deals with the right of private defense of the body and property? 97. C is the answer. Next is 44. A instigates B to murder D. B in pursuance to instigation stabs D. D recovers from the wound. So A is guilty of instigating B to commit murder. Yes. A is the answer. And where this is mentioned, it is mentioned in section 108, and this is illustration B. Next 45. Obstructing public servant in discharge of public function is an offense punishable under 186A is the answer. This is 46. A, knowing that B has murdered Z, assist B to hide the body with the intention of screening B from punishment. Under which of the following section of IPC can A be punished? 201. B is the answer. Next is 47. A doctor registered as medical practitioner and entitled to practice in homeopathy only prescribed an allopathic medicine to the patient. Patient died. Doctor is guilty of rash and negligent act. A is the answer. Next is 48. CBT is defined in section 405. C is the answer. And 49. In which of the following cases the Supreme Court held that legal and valid marriage is not necessary ingredient to attract 498A. That was Reema Agarwal versus Anupama Agarwal. A is the answer. Next is 50. A makes an attempt to pick the pocket of Z by thrusting his hand into Z's pocket. A fails in the attempt in consequence of Z's having nothing in the pocket. A is guilty under section 511 IPC. A is the answer. This is illustration B of that section. Next is 51. Which of the following section of Limitation Act deals with expiry of period when the court is closed? Section 4. C is the answer. 3 में क्या है? Mandatory provision. 5 में क्या है? Condonation of delay in appeal and application. Next 52. An order made on application filed beyond the period of limitation is. I would say this question is controversial because let's say they are not mentioning that without condonation or without an application for condonation of delay in the suit on the application. If somebody has filed an application in section 5 and that has been allowed, तो फिर तो ये valid हो जाएगा. I would say not proper. Next 53. In a suit for recovery of possession of a house from a deemed trustee of work property, no limitation applies. I think a third time they are asking in this series of ODISHA papers. They are asking the same question in every exam. Next 54. The period of limitation for filing an application for execution of any decree other than decree granting a mandatory injunction or order of any civil court is 12 years. D is the answer. Next is 55. Exclusion of time under section 14 is mandatory. A is the answer. Next 56. Which of the following section of Limitation Act deals with the effect of substituting or adding a new plaintiff or defendant? That is 21. A is the answer. Next 57. In case of a suit for compensation of an act which does not give rise to a cause of action unless specific injury actually results therefrom, that period of limitation shall be computed from the time when the injury results. A is the answer. And this is provided in section 23 of Limitation Act. Next 58. The jurisdiction to great exemption under section 14 is given exclusively to civil courts. A is the answer. Next 59. The period of limitation for a suit for compensation for infringing copyright or any other exclusive privilege is 3 years. C is the answer. It is mentioned in Article 88 of Schedule of Limitation Act. Next is 60. The period of limitation for filing an application to set aside and decree pass ex parte to rehear an appeal heard ex parte is 30 days. 30 days. B is the answer. Next 61. Vested interest created in favor of unborn person comes under section 20 TPA. A is the answer. Next 62. Actionable claims means claim to any debt or beneficial interest. Yes, A, both. Next 63. Doctrine of election in the Transfer of Property Act is provided under section 35. A is the answer. Next 64. The term transfer of property is defined in TPA in section 5. 3 is the answer. Next 65. The registration of mortgage is not required where the mortgage is mortgage by deposit of title deeds. D is the answer. Mortgage is defined in section 58. Simple is in 58. B. Anomalous is in G, E for English, and this is F. Next 66, any provision made as a clause on redemption is void. A is the answer. And redemption is provided in section 67 TPA. Next 67, the lease of immutable property is terminable either by party by a notice of. देखिए टर्मिनेशन ऑफ लीज के लिए नोटिस तो है वो प्रोवाइड किया गया सेक्शन 106 में. हाउ एवर देखिए यहाँ पर नहीं लिखा हुआ कि कौन सी लीज है. जैसे मान लो कि एग्रीकल्चर लीज है फॉर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग पर्पस है जो कि ईयर टू ईयर होती है, उसमें 6 मंथ का नोटिस पीरियड है. एंड और रिमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी है तो उसकी होती है 15 डेज की, जिसमें हम लीज फॉर मंथ टू मंथ चलती है. बट अब देखिए लीज ऑफ इमूवेबल प्रॉपर्टी लिखा हुआ है, यहाँ पर अदर नहीं लिखा हुआ. पर्पस कौन सा एग्रीकल्चर है तो 6 मंथ्स है, और देखिए 6 मंथ्स भी है यहाँ पर 15 डेज भी है, तो ये कन्फ्यूजन हो गया. ठीक है, सो आई वुड से कि दोनों ही हो सकते हैं इसमें आंसर लगाएं तो, बट द क्वेश्चन इज नॉट करेक्ट, नॉट प्रॉपर. नेक्स्ट 68, पाइन मोर्टगेजी इज subsequent mortgagee. C is the answer. Next 69, in a lease of immovable property, what is transfer? Is the right to enjoy the property. B is the answer. Next 70, transfer of immovable property made with intent to defeat or delay the creditors of the transferor is known as fraudulent transfer. C is the answer. Section 53 provides for the same TPA. Next 71, the rule of Pinel's case related to part performance. A is the answer. Next 72, when an offer is addressed to the public at large, the offer is called as general offer. C is the answer. Carlyle wala case, Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company. Next 73, X makes a proposal to Y, which Y accepts, but before the acceptance comes to the knowledge of X, Y revokes his acceptance by telegram. When the revocation is complete, when the telegram is received by the X. B is the answer. अब मान लो कि वो टेलीग्राम को पढ़े ही ना, अब वो कंटेंट तो उसकी फिर नॉलेज में आएंगे ही नहीं, तो इसीलिए जब वो रिसीव कर लेगा टेलीग्राम उसकी एक्सेप्टेंस से पहले, तो इसका मतलब क्या हुआ कि एक्सेप्टेंस जो है वो रिवोक हो चुकी है. बी इज द आंसर. एंड सेक्शन 4 ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट एक्ट प्रोवाइड्स द सेम, उसमें इलस्ट्रेशन भी है, वहाँ पर भी अगर आप देखेंगे तो लिखा हुआ है कि जब वो रिसीव कर लेगा रीचेज हिम तो वो रिवोक हो जाएगा. Next 74, A threatened to commit suicide his wife and son if refused to execute a deed in his favor. They executed the deed. Deed is said to have been obtained by coercion. C is the answer. Question provided in section 15. Fraud 70, undue influence 16, misrepresentation 18. Next 75, wagering agreement are void but collateral transactions will be valid. C is the answer. बट वो भी तब वैलिड होंगे जब वो जो कंसिडरेशन है उन कोलैटरल्स में वो लॉफुल है. नेक्स्ट 76, ओनर ऑफ अ सिनेमा हॉल कॉन्ट्रैक्ट टू एग्जिबिट अ फिल्म in the month of October. In the month of September, the hall collapsed during an earthquake. The contract has become impossible to perform. C is the answer. Facts are same too. Taylor versus Caldwell, Creel versus Henry, doctrine of frustration. And section कौन सा है? 56 Contract Act. Next 77, if a person accepts a lesser sum of money than what was contracted for a discharge of whole debt, it is known as remission. A is the answer. Next 78, under English law, a contract of insurance other than life insurance is contract of indemnity. D is the answer. Next 79, the leading case Carlyle versus Carbolic Smoke Ball Company relates to अभी बताया general offer. C is the answer. Next 80, consensus ad idem means consent of the party obtained illegally. No, party identified the same thing in the same sense. इसका मतलब होता है same things in the same sense. B is the answer. Next 81, distribution of property among heirs of class 2 of the schedule under section 11 shall be divided between. अब देखिए यहाँ पर भी मैं कहूँगा ये क्वेश्चन प्रॉपर नहीं है, बिकॉज क्लास 2 में जो पर एंट्री जो है ना, एक जो लाइन लिखी हुई है एंट्री जो है उसमें जो शेयरर्स होंगे वो इक्वली जो है डिस्ट्रीब्यूट होगी उनमें. ठीक है, तो इक्वली आंसर देगा, बट इसमें लिखना चाहिए कि पर एंट्री, वन एंट्री। तो जो पहली एंट्री मान लो फादर है फर्स्ट पर, अगर नीचे अगर फादर लाइव है तो उसी को मिलेगा सारा, फिर बाकी अगर वो नहीं है फिर सेकंड एंट्री, फिर थर्ड, ऐसे चलेंगे। और उसमें जो 3-4 है मान लो, तो वहां पर उनको फिर मिलेगा बराबर इक्वली। ये क्वेश्चन भी मैं कहूँगा प्रॉपर नहीं है। नेक्स्ट 82, हु अमंग द फॉलोइंग इज अ क्लास 1 एयर? ब्रदर सन नो, सिस्टर सन नो, ब्रदर्स डॉटर नो, नन ऑफ द अबव, डी इज द आंसर। Next 83, a co-partner is a creature of Hindu law. Yes, A is the answer. Other option, agreement, act of parties, no. Next 84, a person who dies without making testamentary disposition in the respect of his property under section 3G is intestate. B is the answer under Hindu Succession Act. Next 85, general rules of succession in the case of succession of the female Hindus are dealt with section 15 of Hindu Succession Act. 16 में क्या है? 15 वाले का ऑर्डर बताया गया है। 20 क्या है? राइट ऑफ चाइल्ड इन दी वूम्ब। ठीक है, फिर 21 क्या है? प्रिजम्पशन ऑफ साइमल्टेनियस डेथ्स। Next 86, a widow inherits property of her husband on his death, whether a subsequent remarriage would divest her of the property in view of 24 and 14 of Hindu Succession Act. No, वो उसकी एब्सोल्यूट प्रॉपर्टी बन जाएगी and she cannot be divested from that property. B is the answer. Next 87, one who shares equally with other in inheritance in the estate of a common ancestor is called as partner. B is the answer. एग्री की डेफिनेशन कहाँ दी हुई है? सेक्शन 3A में, कोकोनेट की 3C में ऑफ हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट। को पार्सन की डेफिनेशन कहीं पर भी नहीं डिफाइन किया गया है, बट ये जनरल डेफिनेशन है। नेक्स्ट 88, एज पर सेक्शन 14 ऑफ द हिंदू सक्सेशन एक्ट, एनी प्रॉपर्टी पोजेस्ड बाय हिंदू फीमेल व्हेन एक्वायर्ड बिफोर और आफ्टर द कमेंसमेंट ऑफ शैल बी हर एब्सोल्यूट प्रॉपर्टी, फुल ऑनर। तो ए इज द आंसर। नेक्स्ट 89, in which section of the Indian Succession Act defines codicil? codicil कहाँ पर है? सेक्शन 2B में। C is the answer. 2F में क्या है? probate. 2A में क्या है? administrator. 2H में क्या है? will. Next 90, a will or any part of a will the making of which has been caused by fraud or coercion or by such importunity is void. Option there. B is the answer. सेक्शन कौन सा है? सेक्शन है 61 ऑफ इंडियन सक्सेशन एक्ट। नेक्स्ट 91, द स्पेसिफिक परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ एनी कॉन्ट्रैक्ट स्पेसिफाइड इन सेक्शन 10 ऑफ द स्पेसिफिक रिलीफ एक्ट मे बी एनफोर्स्ड एज अ राइट डिस्क्रिशन। डिस्क्रिशन है। B is the answer. Next 92, what is the period of limitation fixed for filing a suit for specific performance of a contract? That is 3 years. और ये कहाँ मेंशन किया गया है? ये मेंशन किया गया है आर्टिकल 54 ऑफ शेड्यूल ऑफ लिमिटेशन एक्ट में। नेक्स्ट 93, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग सेक्शन ऑफ स्पेसिफिक रिलीफ एक्ट डील्स विद स्पेसिफिक परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ पार्ट कॉन्ट्रैक्ट? दैट इज सेक्शन 12। ए इज द आंसर। 4 में क्या है? विच कैन नॉट बी परफॉर्म्ड। 15 में हु कैन स्पेसिफिकली एनफोर्स। नेक्स्ट 94, in which of the following cases has the Supreme Court held that when granting of damage in adequate relief, the specific performance would be refused? That is Prakash Chandra versus Angad Lal. A is the answer. Next 95, a party who has rescinded a contract cannot recover damages. Obviously, जिसने खुद ब्रेक किया है वो कैसे damages मांग लेगा? B is the answer. Next 96, in a suit for specific performance of a contract, the plaintiff may also claim compensation for its breach, either in addition to or in substitution of such performance. C is the answer. Next 97, a declaration made under section 34 is binding on the party to suit, person claiming through them. Yes. Will any party a trustee or person in whom, if in existence at the date of declaration, such parties would be trustees? Yes. So all of the above is the answer. Next 98, perpetual induction is defined in section 37. B is the answer. तो when granted है 38 में। 36 में क्या है? प्रिवेंटिव रिलीफ हाउ ग्रांटेड। 39 क्या है? मैंडेटरी इंजंक्शन। नेक्स्ट 99, ए पार्टी कैन फाइल अ सूट फॉर रेक्टिफिकेशन at time when the fraud is discovered, yes. A time mistake has come to light, yes. Within 3 year execution. So either A or B rectification है तो D is the answer. Next 100, which of the following contract cannot be specifically enforced? A contract for the non-performance of which compensation in money is adequate relief. देखिए पहले था ये, अब इसकी जगह सेक्शन 20 जो है सब्स्टिट्यूटेड परफॉर्मेंस के लिए लिख दिया गया है, तो ये हो गया डिलीट बाय द 2018 अमेंडमेंट ऑफ स्पेसिफिक रिलीफ एक्ट। कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विच रन्स इनटू न्यूमरस डिटेल्स इसमें नहीं होगा, ठीक है। द कॉन्ट्रैक्ट विच इट्स डिटरमिनेबल इसमें भी नहीं होगा। तो वैसे देखें तो ऑल ऑफ द बोथ है इसका आंसर, बट अब जो है ये चेंज हो गया है, अब यहाँ डाल दिया गया सब्स्टिट्यूटेड परफॉर्मेंस के लिए। So friends, here we have discussed the preliminary exam paper of ODISHA Judicial Services OJS 2017. अगर आपको इसमें कोई कमी लगी हो, कोई सजेशंस हो, कोई एडवाइस हो, तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में जाकर भी लिख सकते हैं। We always appreciate your comments and feedback. And friends, if you like the efforts, kindly give a super thanks. Super thanks is a way to help the content creator. Means if you like the videos, you can just donate some money to them in form of tips. Minimum starts with 20. Minimum is 20 rupees. And अगर आपको वीडियो अच्छी लगी इसको जरूर लाइक कीजिएगा. And don't forget to subscribe our channel. And while subscribing, don't forget to press the bell icon so that you can get the notification of our upcoming videos. So friends, thank you. Thanks very much for watching this video. Thank you.